In 1969, a young military officer named Muammar Gaddafi led a bloodless coup, overthrowing King Idris I and establishing the Libyan Arab Republic. Gaddafi quickly consolidated power, introducing his unique Third International Theory, outlined in the Green Book, aiming for direct popular rule. For over 4 decades, Gaddafi ruled with an iron fist, known for his eccentric behavior, elaborate outfits, and a fiercely loyal all-female bodyguard unit. Libya, under Gaddafi, became isolated internationally, accused of sponsoring terrorism and developing weapons of mass destruction, leading to UN sanctions. In the early 2000s, Gaddafi sought to mend ties with the West, renouncing WMDs and compensating victims of past attacks, leading to the lifting of sanctions. The year 2011 saw the rise of the Arab Spring, a wave of pro-democracy protests sweeping across North Africa and the Middle East, inspiring many Libyans. Inspired by regional events, anti-Gaddafi protests began in Libya in February 2011, initially in Benghazi, quickly spreading across the country. Gaddafi responded with characteristic defiance, vowing to crush the rats and terrorists responsible for the unrest, refusing to step down. True to his word, Gaddafi unleashed his security forces and loyalist militias, using heavy weaponry against protesters, leading to numerous casualties. The brutal crackdown drew widespread international condemnation, with human rights organizations and world leaders calling for an end to the violence. As the conflict escalated, opposition groups coalesced into the National Transitional Council, or NTC, forming a provisional government and an armed rebel force. Gaddafi's forces pushed towards Benghazi, the rebel stronghold, threatening a full-scale massacre, prompting urgent calls for international intervention. On March 17, 2011, the UN Security Council passed Resolution 1973, authorizing a no-fly zone over Libya and all necessary measures to protect civilians. Days later, NATO launched Operation Unified Protector, beginning airstrikes against Gaddafi's military assets to enforce the no-fly zone and protect civilians. NATO's air power quickly decimated Gaddafi's air force and severely degraded his ground forces, shifting the balance of power in favor of the rebels. Despite NATO support, the conflict became a protracted civil war, with both sides suffering heavy losses and control shifting across various towns. With sustained NATO air support and growing internal support, rebel forces gradually gained momentum, capturing strategic towns and oil facilities. In August 2011, rebel forces launched their final offensive on Tripoli, Gaddafi's stronghold, leading to intense street fighting. On August 23, rebels stormed Gaddafi's fortified compound, Bab al-Azizia, a symbolic victory marking the end of his direct control over the capital. Gaddafi and his loyalists fled Tripoli, going into hiding as the NTC assumed control, establishing a new provisional government. For weeks, Gaddafi remained at large, releasing defiant audio messages from his hiding place as rebel forces actively hunted him down. On October 20, 2011, Gaddafi was discovered hiding in a drainage pipe near his hometown of Sirte, the last loyalist stronghold. Shortly after his capture, Gaddafi was killed under unclear circumstances, his death announced to the world, marking the definitive end of his regime. Gaddafi's death sparked celebrations across Libya, but also ushered in a period of profound uncertainty, paving the way for years of instability and conflict. The collapse of Gaddafi's leadership left a power vacuum, contributing to a fractured state, prolonged civil war, and the rise of various armed factions, a complex legacy.